I'll, the NLP Pioneer of India. Well, I didn't earn this, but it was conferred on me by Life Positive, a magazine from Delhi, in their 2002 uh, March issue. I'll tell the correct number. So the let me tell you what was the journey and how I got this name as NLP Pioneer of India. So one thing is, in the year 1999, um it was on 12th of December 1997. I was certified on Dr. Rashid Bandler, the first batch of NLP practitioners in India. It was done in Bangalore Hotel Meridian on December 10th to 12th. Because why I remember December 10th to 12th is December 10th is my marriage anniversary, and every year on marriage anniversary, I always I am in the last 3 years. That is, maybe 95 to 97. It happened continuously. I was on some training program, and I have to convince a lot before going. I have to convince a lot my wife before going for the this program. That is how I remember. Then afterward, I did uh, basic masters and also trainers with our NFNLP or the William Horton Group, and that is how I started my journey into NLP. And in the year 1999, there was a request from one of the sponsors to write in Telugu, because they were trying to get the NLP practitioners from USA training program in Andhra Pradesh. And this Andhra Pradesh was a growing hub because of because of my articles, and they told me to write that one. I started writing that, and afterward, what actually happened is a few of the magazines called for an article in Telugu, and there's a big demand for NLP articles. And I started instead of making this small attempt with small magazines. Why can't we go for the number one? So at that time, the number one was Inadu, and number two was Varta. I couldn't get a breakthrough in Inadu, but I went to Varta. And yeah, same as Bander did, I started modeling the chairman to convince him, modeling the tonality, modeling the body language, and he gave me an opportunity to talk to all the um, journalists. They were the company-wide journalists were doing a program. There, I talked about how the eyeball movement and body language this journalist can use to extract more from these subjects, and how they can interview and how they can become more effective in their profession. That impressed them, and there was almost a 100% acceptance for my concept, and a wide welcome was there. That is how I started my journey into that. It every Sunday I have to write my articles. They whatever the case therapy I used to do, that is right on Sunday. That is on Friday I used to give a publication. Sunday it was there. So that way, what actually happened was a lot of publicity was there, a lot of recognition was there, and people started recognizing me even when I go on um, rickshaw, where I go on car. Drivers used to tell me, "You Varta." I have become a Varta guy. That is, Varta is the number two daily in Andhra Pradesh at that time. and it went on up to 90. I think around I wrote around some between 1990s 9 to 2002. I wrote somewhere around 300 articles. 300 articles. Then press media. That is how it happened there, and that was the article write up of Varta. Varta was a great magazine, and a lot of training programs, NLP practitioners courses I used to do, and this has become a um, big success, I would say. Then subsequently, I was doing a lot of project works applying NLP unconsciously. I applied it for my company, and first project I did was took a few IIT ITI apprentices. They had poor marks. They were not interested in mathematics. They were not interested in studies, and they told they are not able to remember the formula. Then I applied NLP, and I showed some improvement on them, and that was a big hit in the company. And that was also one of the reasons where I was transferred to the training department. That was one reason. That was a temporary project I did. That was one reason. Then one second. In the month of July 2000, I presented a paper to the Andhra Pradesh government, stating that NLP is a trendsetter in educational system. A paper I presented in the press conference, and where the then Minister Girvachari at that time, he gave an award for me. And the paper I classified using NLP. That why actually the concentration of the children is suffering, or why teachers are not able to make an impact using the VAK concept. I told there should be three educational every standard in uh, school should have three bifurcation. That is, it should be called a first A, first V, first A, first K. That is visual, auditory, and feeling. So every class should have three. One as a visual, auditory, and visual. So the visual media should be used heavily. Another should be a auditory media. Another should be a kind of feeling media, maybe some dramas or something like that. So that impressed a lot the audience, and there was a high welcome for that. That is how I told NLP trendsetters in this one. That is how that bought me a good laurel for me from the government of Andhra Pradesh. And I was also asked to give a presentation to the then Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu, and that was one more feather in my cap. That was one more feather in my cap. One more thing, what I did is I read a few articles, it was not clicking. Then I thought, let me go into the application of it. So that is how what I did is in the year November 1998. Um, I made a free mm, counseling awareness session in the newspapers, and around 200 to 300 people came for the free camp. And then from there, I collected the data, and I from their data, I made and how it can be used for including counseling. And this I presented in a World Congress for Integrated Healing Methods in the year 1998. That is how I wrote the article. Article was based on the research I did with around 150 undergraduate Dr. MGR clinic in Hyderabad. Then there was a 30th National ISTD Conference, Indian Society of Training Development. It was in Calcutta, 19 to 21st January. And I presented NLP, an effective support system for achieving individual and organizational excellence towards 21st century. This was the title of the topic. And another paper case study I presented was NLP as a drugless therapy for reducing sleep disorder among prisoners in Central Jail at the 14th National Congress, Medical Congress, on 12th to 14th November 2000. Um, so this were NLP a trend set in educational system, a state seminar with the theme Reform in Education System on 29 July 2000. These were some of my presentations, paper presentations I did. Then that was one of the reasons, one of my milestones, I would say. Mm, that was one of the things. It's coming to the second milestone was the I had a feeling to I told you that I had to go to the next level of training, and we were told that the sponsors will offset some part of the portion of the fees. We had to go to Hollywood for the advanced level, and they do some social project. So then I was a part of the one of the inaugural ceremony where I met the police commissioner. He also was a part of my concern. Then I told him that I would like to do a project with your prisoners. Then he told, "Welcome, welcome, prisoners." So I went to the Hyderabad Central Jail in near Capra. That was a lifetime sentence near Capra. They were like an open jail, and to my shock, I had a um I thought, in fact, I was asking the inspector also, sir, what will happen if somebody puts a knife on me and one of the prisoner will try to blackmail you, what you will do? He told it happens in the movie, it doesn't happen there because the well guarded security, they are stripped, powerless, and that will not happen. Once you come, you know about it. So when I entered the prisoners' jail, and my shock. Was really so many graduates were there. One doctor was there. One IIM professor was there. So I, after seeing that, after talking to them, after doing all the work with around 400 prisoners, I came to know that law punishes a few people to as a sample to show to the world that law is very strict. Most of them were under trials. That is where I worked in the prison of Hyderabad Central Jail. And I created an awareness session and I asked people to come for the sessions. All of them volunteered for the session, but all of them came for the session, but a few volunteered after that. Other case I have separately discussed in this chapter. That was the thing where I could help my prisoners had most of the painful incidents were traumatic incidents which happened in their life. They're being dragged to the police station, dragged to the court, beaten for the sake of money, and it was a very pathetic situation for me to come out. It. The only thing what happened is I taught them a few techniques, a Swiss technique of NLP. I taught them, and that was one. I always went to some women prisoners and where I talked to them, and there I taught them a few of these techniques, which I still now I teach to my people. That was another milestone for me. Um, and there were also instructions from some of the inspectors to mend some people who doesn't respect the authority. And I told I have come here only as a person to do some project work. I cannot change the behavior in a short period. So that is how I would like to end that the story of prison story. Okay, that was another milestone for me. Another changing point in my life was I did in the year it was the World Mental Health Day on October 2001, I believe. I did a project work in Sai Baba Temple, Dilshuk Nagar. So I was trying to get another project I wanted to do. I was trying to get this time my focus was only on the young mothers or women, what sort of problems they are facing and how NLP can solve the board. For that, I want to do a project work. So I went to. I was searching for a group of women hostel in Andhra Pradesh and particularly in Hyderabad. And wherever I went, they were not more than working women were not more than 30 or 40. And with very great difficulty, the time was nearing. That is, I was supposed to complete it on December. It was somewhere on September, October. I didn't get the proper sample. So what I did is at the end I located one at a good sample in somewhere in Secunderabad. I had a very painful part of my life was I sponsored everything for myself because I was applying leave on one side and other side I was funding myself for the training programs, funding for the camp. So I declared a camp in one of the women's hostel, biggest women hostel in AP. I think some 130 women were there, and I went and I talked to the um, secretary and the woman. They had a meeting, and they all agreed, and I made them pamphlets. And I next day I told them first phase will be full of awareness for all the people who can join, and then volunteers can come for the sample session. Then we'll go for the final session. This was a three rounds. So what actually happened? It was on Saturday. Program was supposed to take on Sunday, and Saturday I sponsored I think around 100 shares, and at the time I'm telling pre-Google era and mic for publicity and pamphlets and registered login. I put my men there, and so it was a good around some 70 people have registered and all those things. So somewhere in the night there was a big commotion. The secretary or the lady secretary, she started phoning me up, sir, why do you want to take a video of this whole situation? And I told I want a document. I already told you board has agreed. She told, no, sir, women are not ready for that. If it's video, they don't want that. Then I told, okay, no problem. Then at least you give me a photograph. Then after another one night, 11 o'clock, she told me, sir, they are not ready for the photographs also. Uh, then the lady on the other side of the phone was crying bitterly. Then I told, what happened, ma? You tell me what happened. If I don't want a repeated phone call from you, if you are having any difficulty, please tell, and I will put a blame on myself. Don't worry about it. Tell the truth. Why every half an hour you're crying and postponing this? She told somebody came, somebody banged her, and there are a lot of questions which she could not answer. What will happen to the security of this woman? And if something else is exposed, what it will do? So a lot of questions were there, and she was half crying, half sobbing, and telling me over phone. Then and she also told me, sir, kindly don't tell my name. I'll be very happy if you cancel this program. Then I told, okay, ma, I will cancel this program. I will cancel this program. So you do one thing, you put a notice board that is cancelled because of health reasons of doctor. Then she was very happy. So somehow as a hero, I made I made a projection. But in heart, I was worried. In fact, I was praying to God. See, one side I am a person. I am already I spent around 2 to 3 lakhs at that time, 97. By doing different NLP courses for Bandler and Sunite and William Houghton and Rejabur. Then what to do? No. And then I was a little unhappy. In fact, I went to temple and I prayed to Sai Baba. Sai Baba is one of my, I shall say, he is my grandfather. So in a while I lose temper, I shout at him as if I talk to him, a grandfather. Then I told you are not a god. There are many people, many cheats are there in this world. They will get a better breakthrough. And you are a person where I am trying to put my name at stake. I am sponsoring everything. I am funding my own training. I am doing a social service. You are not helping me. I will not talk to you. Then somehow I cried in the temple, and when I came back, then though one of my friends called me, sir, you come immediately and here one. The temple trustee knows you. He has read your articles and he is interested in helping you out. This was from Sai Baba Temple, Dishuvnagar. Then it was really miracle for me. One side, just half an hour before I was shouting with Sai Baba, and Sai Baba has given an answer to me. Then I thought, okay, then another miracle happened. Another miracle was that I had to travel in 1 hour to reach the destination, and he told me you have to come within 1 hour. I told it's okay. But what happened? It was some rain was there, a lot of heavy floods were there, and it took 3 hours for me to reach. I was trying to contact them on phone. Phone was not there. Then I thought my opportunity is gone. Then when I went and landed in near that place, the heavy water was there and traffic was jammed, and there was also some film shooting was going on. As a result, the trustee could not leave the temple. He told me that he will be leaving the temple in 1 hour. So I thought it's a second miracle. When I went there, he was telling, sir, had this rain was not there, I would have gone. So then he told, whatever the funds you want, sir, we will sanction you, but do it for about 10-15 days, and it should be the name of the temple authorities. I told it's okay. So that is was the biggest breakthrough for me. I think around some another 300 people came, and I could not control the crowd, and we had to introduce a lot of systems. We had to join a lot of volunteers. And there was a 10 days project, and the 10th day it was the ending of the World Mental Health Day. Then what happened on World Mental Health Day? It was ending. A lot of publicity was there, video publicity, TV publicity was there. Doordarshan at the time, Teja TV at that time, and lot of TV started coming together. Then that is where my career into the TV media started. So after that, every 3 months I was on Doordarshan. I was in private TV and all those things. I became a mini celebrity. That was the biggest breakthrough or biggest camp. That was the second milestone for me. And this publicity brought me a lot of name and fame throughout AP. And another part was I was applying NLP and on and off. Then I did my first NLP practitioner certification course for my company inside. Then I was called in Delhi, and we did a NLP practitioner course for all public sector executives. Around 30 people were there. The first, I think, first batch of certification in public sector. and we did it for about some 30 people from different public sectors, banks, and power sectors, and machine manufacturers. And the company had made a profit of around 2 lakhs. HR department made a profit of 2 lakhs, and I was only a faculty there, but I was the person who orchestrated the whole thing. And um, then the certification courses started going, and then a lot of camps we did in our own township. Whenever any occasion was there, camp was there. And I was given a separate cabin for counseling. I was given an additional separate cabin for counseling where anybody can come for counseling and NLP counseling. And BHL hospital also kept one room for me, and there was also where I started applying counseling. The one biggest point of BHL was the companies give a lot of freedom to work. They may not sponsor trainings, but they do help. So I thought I got a ready-made audience. I got a ready-made audience to experiment and all those things. Then company gave me the best employee award. They also gave me a cash of 1 lakh for contributing to the society, contributing to the company, and also mm, doing a lot of printing work. So they gave me Excel award, rupees 1 lakh, and I was called. My wife was called to Delhi, and I presented NLP before all the directors of the company. All corporate directors were there, and me and my wife and my two daughters. So I was the 52 person selected. I was one of the 52 persons selected. On me and my wife, sorry, me and my wife were selected. 52 persons selected among I think around 7,000 people who applied for that, and we were on it, and company gave up and down flight for the whole family, and they gave me a suit for me, and many things the company did. I was very happy, and I was very happy. But one thing I was very happy was my daughters were seeing me. My At the time I was one of the 10 NLP practitioner at that time. Very few were there, and I was also president of the AP chapter of NLP practitioners group, and my I remember my daughters were maybe in as one was in fifth, another was in seventh, and they told one day I'll also become like him. I will also get an award. So that was a very important moment for me, that my children noticing my recognition, and my similarly my family started recognizing me as one of the top 10 guys in the field of NLP. That was a big another big breakthrough for me. Mm. Another milestone was the release of a book. Then I thought, why can't I release all these articles in a form of a book? Then I went to the Vata editor and I asked him his permission. He told Vata doesn't have any objection. And I released a small Telugu book. The first NLP book of India was released by, at the time, then me and my friend who were in a mastermind, we went and we approached at the time the number one Telugu star was Dr. Akine Nageshwara, A. Nageshwara. And he was very happy to receive us. And in fact, he was reading my articles. I was not aware of it. He only told, no, your articles are very nice and you're doing a very great work. As a psychologist, you are helping so many people. And he started telling his flash of what are the roles he has done as a psychologist. So that was a very good moment for me. And the first NLP book was released, and lot of that was another big publicity. A lot of celebrities came there in Hyderabad Press Club, and that was. Then I thought, why can't the same can be done with in Tamil, because I used to come to Chennai every time. Then I made a book on Tamil, printed it, and I was waiting for an occasion to be released, but there was a psychology conference in um, Coimbatore. So I went there, and that university we released that book on Tamil. And there was the professor was very happy to release the Department of Psychology, and they released it. So this was another milestone. And the last part was I didn't know that what I has given my name to. Um, um, Life Positive. Somehow, Life Positive was making a special issue of Andhra Pradesh, and they also want to make a special issue on um, Chandrababu Naidu, his work, and they were also trying to find who are other people who had done the moment. And my work, they understood. They gave me the press. The people gave me. They understood, and they titled it the NLP Pioneer of Andhra Pradesh. They titled NLP Pioneer of AP, India. That is how my name as NLP Pioneer of the first NLP Pioneer of India. That is how it came, and afterwards, in the books also, I started reprinting that particular um, print version in Tamil book and Telugu book. I used to put that. So that is how I became the NLP Pioneer of India. And still, pioneering work is continuing. I applied for teachers, I applied for training, I applied for therapy. That is how I made a big difference. And still, the name is continuing. The pioneering work I had done. Now, only thing is, I have shifted my focus into NLP, and I focused into um, application part of it into the couples counseling. Thank you very much.